Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. I was talking about search criteria, right? Here you need to input what you're looking for. Let's say if you're creating a report, there's a task that will allow you to create a report. Create a report. Create custom report, the task where you can use this task to create a report. And delete report. Delete report is something you have. Every action that you actually perform in Workday does have a task, and the task you should have access to perform. Ideally, all the Workday team members. I said right. You'll be getting all the access that you need to perform, and you'll not have any kind of limitations in the security. You should have access to every task that we have in Workday. And any new relative work that you wanted to actually perform, you can actually input that as a kind of search criteria in the search bar. That will return if there is any tasks with the same name actually. I don't know how to create integration system, but I was accessing a task or something related to integration system. If I input any kind of related work, there will be all the tasks which are related to that particular activity. You should be seeing all the tasks with this name. Since I have access, the user is a Jacqueline that I'm logged in with. Since Jacqueline has access to all these tasks, the moment she inputs create int as a kind of prefix, all the tasks related to this one will be populating for you to access that one which you're looking for. I can say you don't need any kind of list of tasks that you need to be aware. Whatever the related input criteria that you wanted to actually search in the search bar, you can actually do that, and data will be written according to your need action. If there is any kind of task with the related term that you have used, you should be getting that. If you are not getting the task, there are two things here. One is might be you don't have a right security to create an integration system. Let's say I'm trying for a task called create integration system. If the task is not coming for me, it's not that the task is not available. There is also a reason that I don't have an access right permissions to create integrations in Workday. That could be the reason the task is not coming for me, and also the task itself is not available in Workday, and that's the reason why nothing is written. Two possibilities are there for you which you can think of actually. And prefixes. I said right, we have a lot of prefixes that you need to be aware of. I told you that some prefixes are available right in Workday, which you need to be aware. You will not get that on very first day, but the more hands-on that you actually put in the system, you should be getting aware of all the prefixes that we typically use on day-to-day activities of Workday. It's not that today itself we need to know all the prefixes, or you need to be aware of all the prefixes before you start learning something. It's not that. Based on the activities that you actually manage in Workday, based on number of tasks that you manage in Workday, automatically you'll be getting some kind of understanding on the prefixes that we have in Workday. We have something called RD, which is nothing but report definition. If I give something worker, I will be getting all the reports related to worker. Since I've used a term called worker here, reports, report is nothing but RD is nothing but report definition. All the reports with worker name you should be getting access. It's if something with employee, all the reports with employee name I should be getting. And something related to intesis. Intesis is a prefix, right? Intesis worker. All integrations with worker I should be getting access for. I should be able to return or retrieve all the integrations with worker as a prefix option. Now, similarly, anything on employee. If any integrations is there on employee, you should be getting that. That's what? Prefix. If you wanted to know all the prefixes that are available in Workday, there is a task called question tag. If you input your question tag in the search bar and hit on enter, you should be getting all the list of prefixes that we have in Workday actually. These are all the prefixes that we have in Workday. It's not that everything you should know. No need of knowing everything, and it's hard for you to know everything. Based on based on the activities that you typically perform, you should be able to identify those tasks. Let's say business process. When we are actually configuring business process, you will be configuring all the business process and steps in Workday actually. To access the BP, there is a different prefix actually, which you can go with BP colon and the BP name. Since you have created that, you will be aware of that. How to access the business process in Workday, and how to access reports in Workday, how to access integrations in Workday, how to access employee data in Workday. All these kind of things you should be getting aware slowly when you start managing any kind of Workday activities in Workday. Sample you have given here. If you wanted to search any worker data, you can see worker colon, and if you give worker name, you should be getting worker data. Let's say if you view the same prefix here, worker Jacqueline. If I go for Jacqueline, I should be getting Jacqueline's profile and I can access Jacqueline profile. If I don't know prefix, and even if I put Jacqueline's name here, I should be getting. I should be getting even with the name. The employee should be able to find and access employee profile. Actually, that's how you typically access profiles with employee names, with employee prefix, and all you should be able to access. Everything is kind of search criteria. Whatever you're looking for based on your search criteria, that will be returned actually. That's on this thing. And coming to profile options, you can see when you click on profile, you should be seeing a lot of options here. A lot of options you see here. It's not that everything is required for you to know. You can see sitemap is something you should be aware of. If I click on sitemap, it will get you all the tasks under each category that we have in Workday, and also all the reports that are available under that category. In Workday, you should be able to see that. Sitemap is nothing but which will give you tasks that you'll be accessing when you are aware of or when you have any need to perform those tasks. Let's say now I've accessed the sitemap and I got all the categories in Workday. Now I was being asked by any of the benefit business users to run a report that gives all the benefit enrollments of an employee. And also I wanted to know what all the tasks that are available in benefits, which I wanted to understand. I don't know what task names that we have in Workday. Since I'm new to Workday, I don't know all those things. And I don't know what reports that are already there in benefits area. I don't know because I'm new to the organization. In that scenario, you can actually come to the sitemap. Whatever you see in the sitemap, you can come to the sitemap. It will be populated like this with all the categories that we have in Workday. Since you wanted to know something related to benefits, you can click on the benefits. When you click on the benefits, you should be seeing all the tasks that are available in Workday under benefits which you have access for. You should be able to see all the tasks. And also you should be seeing all the reports that are already created. Either it can be a standard, it can be a delivered report that Workday has provided, or a custom report that you have created or someone in the team would have created. You should be able to understand or see all the reports in that particular category. Actually, you can find the right report that you are in need of and access the data that you are looking for. Sitemap is something which allows you to identify all the tasks and all the reports that are available in that particular category. You can find any of the category here. Let's say if you wanted to get something on the learning. I wanted to understand all the reports under learning and all the tasks under learning. I should be able to find all the tasks under learning. Also should be able to find all the delivered and custom reports under learning area. Typically, sitemap will be helpful for you in the beginning when you have a request to actually manage something related to activities in Workday. That's about the tasks. And the other thing is favorites. You'll be performing the regular activities every day by running a report or by editing the report or by finding out the reports. And daily, you're responsible to actually manage that. Daily, instead of actually managing everything from the search bar, you can actually create your own favorites. And you can come here and access for that one. Let's say if I create manage favorites, I can actually add all the reports that I typically use every day. Whichever report that I typically use every day, I'll add that report to the favorites list. That will be available for me whenever I wanted to access on daily basis. Custom reports, such a business object that you will be accessing every day. Whatever the information that you have here, you'll be accessing this every day and you should be able to manage those activities in Workday. That's how you typically manage any kind of regular tasks, regular activities that you do on day-to-day basis. Instead of managing with the access of the tasks in the search bar, you can actually add that to the favorites and you can directly come to the favorites and access them. That's one of the favorites actually. And there is something called documentation actually. This will allow you to actually direct to the Workday community or Workday resource center. Actually, when you have any customer organization, you will be granted with the community access and resource center access. Both will be in the same portal, but you'll be getting access to that one. If you have username and password, you can click on the documentation. That will direct you to the Workday page, community page, where you can actually explore something that you are not aware of. If I click on the community, I think it will keep me out of logging because I don't have username and password for this one. When you get access to this, your community administrator, your resource center administrator will give you access for this portal, and with that you should be able to access the data in community and data in the resource center. Actually, if you wanted to place any request, if you wanted to manage any kind of tenant refreshes, all these things you should be able to handle in resource center. Actually, that's on the documentation part. And also you can see something called my reports. My reports is nothing but if there are any reports that are running under your name, you wanted to know the status of those reports, whether they got completed or they have any kind of issues that you need to fix or they got failed. All those kind of things. And if you come into my reports and get into process monitor, you should be able to get the status of the job that is running by your name, or if you are a developer. If you wanted to know the status of the schedule integration, you can actually come to the process monitor and look for any integration that you wanted to. If there are any kind of schedule integration that are running or that are completed, you should be able to understand the status of those jobs. Process monitor is nothing but which allow you to understand the status of the scheduled jobs, which are already scheduled. Daily runs or weekly runs or monthly runs will be happening, right? If you wanted to check whether those got completed without any kind of issue, or is there any issue, you should be able to find them. Now I have filtered with integrations. I can see all the integration that have completed today itself. You can see one thing got failed in document delivery step and other things are completed actually. You should be able to access all the scheduled jobs through a task called process monitor. If you are getting into any kind of development role, you will be getting more work in the process monitor. At least know the definition of the process monitor now. And when you are actually practicing your any kind of Workday tasks, or any kind of when we get into the reporting, if you're doing any kind of schedules to the reports or any kind of integrations, if you wanted to know whether the scheduled job is completed or it got failed, you need to come to the process monitor and check that one, because process monitor is typically dedicated for scheduled jobs. Actually, you can find the status of the scheduled job from the process monitor. It's an important not just with the developer. Developer will be working more on technical areas where they will be frequently accessing this one. but even our functional resources will be actually working on this Workday area configuration site. They will also see any kind of scheduled reports that are running. We should be able to access them with process monitor. That's another process monitor actually. And there is other thing that you need to be aware outside of the process monitor is something on recovery assistance actually. Recovery assistance is nothing but whenever something gets deleted accidentally. Within 7 days, you have an option to recover that one. If any report has got deleted or any integration has got deleted, you'll first get that particular task into this recovery assistance. And for 7 days, we should be having access to recover that deleted items actually. Recovery assistance is nothing but which will recover that has got deleted by accidentally. If you have an access to the Workday for 7 days, you have an access to recover that one. That's on the recovery, which mostly will not be accessing this one because hardly now will be getting a chance to access any kind of deleted items or not. Will not be deleting anything wantedly. If there is anything that happens accidentally, you have something recovery assistance which you can look at it. That's on the workbench. And drive also cover. Workbench is nothing but a kind of different landing page for technical developers actually. When you have a different landing page which includes all the navigations related technical activities, you should be finding in a workbench where you can access those things actually. When you have a different, you will feel a little slow and some kind of performance issue when you are actually managing the task. It doesn't mean that a real tenant also will behave in the same way because this tenant has a lot of load in it. You do expect some kind of a little lag. It's not that huge behavior you'll be observing. A little lag will be there. That's just a kind of heads up for you. What I was talking about to Workbench, right? If I go to Workbench, I'll see a kind of different landing page. Landing page is nothing but a home page actually. You should be seeing all the technical related activities where you can actually access them directly instead of managing somewhere. If I want to create any integrations, if I want to create any kind of reporting or any kind of other technical stuff like security and all, if I wanted to handle, I should be able to do from Workbench. Workbench access you'll be getting only when you are working in technical areas. Actually, like integration administrator, any of this role, reporting administrator, any of this role will be assigned for you, where with that security access you should be able to access this page. This page actually, this is nothing but what we typically call a Workbench landing page. We call it as Workbench landing page is nothing but which actually a different landing page for technical developers will be there, where you can access that from Workbench. Actually, it's not that everyone will have access to this one. Only who typically work in technical leaders get access to Workbench. Actually, that's on the Workbench, and the other thing is Drive. Actually, Drive is something that you need to know. Drive is nothing but a kind of virtual data repository. Virtual data repository that we have in Workday, where you can actually store any kind of individual documents or anything here. And if you wanted to share anything, you can directly share. Let's say if I have workers and dependents in the report, actually, if I wanted to share this, I can actually share. If I wanted to share this to log on, what access you need? Does she need any kind of access or just via access or something commenting? You can provide that one. If I click on share, this report will be shared to log on. Actually, that's how you can actually use Drive to store data as a kind of repository. And also you can share any of the documents instead of email, instead of any kind of local system options. You can actually do that through Workday itself. Actually, you can share any of the documents and give permission that the person should have just via access or via access. Drive is nothing but a kind of virtual data repository. Drive is nothing but a kind of virtual data repository. We typically call it as a virtual drive, where your data can be. Any files can be stored there and they can be shared to any other resources. That's how you can share. Now here you can see notification. Bell icon is nothing but a notification. And this one is an inbox. Actually, I told you, right? That's how you get emails to your Outlook and Gmail. Similarly, you'll be getting some kind of tasks that you're responsible to take from the inbox. Actually, we typically call this as a inbox, and this one is called as a notifications. In the inbox, whatever tasks that you get here, all items is nothing but which will give you all the activities. Whatever tasks that you get here, which means that since you are an authorized person, you need to action on that one. Then only the tasks will be completing in Workday. Let's say assign rows or some tasks are there here. All I'm seeing, you can see here some position is there. Create position. HRA position has to be created and the position has got created and I need to approve this one. Once I approve, these positions will get created. Since I have a right access, I'm able to take this, and also I'm authorized person to approve whenever create position task triggers in Workday. Only when I approve that will go further. Actually, inbox is nothing but which will allow you to action on the task that you are responsible for. Any tasks that come to your inbox, you need to action, and it's not that you know, only you have to take. Let's see if you are part of HR administrator security groups. When you are part, even all other Workday team members will be part of Workday HR administrative security group. There is a kind of configuration that was made. All the HR administrators should get a kind of action item whenever employee gets terminated. to complete the exit request. Actually, whenever employee is getting terminated in the system, HR must approve to figure the termination system. Whenever employee puts the resignation or when employee termination event is triggered in Workday RR will be getting an action to submit or to approve the termination action. Since HR is responsible to perform that, they will be getting inbox task action. And once they approve, the task will be completed. If they don't approve, it will be sitting like that only. Inbox task is nothing but which will allow you to action on that one. Since you have access, since you have the right authorized person, you can actually action on that one. And the other thing is, let's say if HR administrator has 10 team members and all the 10 team members have got inbox task action. Inbox task in the sense any of the action item that HR admin has to take. Since 10 people are part of HR administrator security group, if something is coming to HR administrator, all these 10 people will be receiving that. Since they're authorized persons and in their inbox they should be getting actionable item, only if you're HR administrator you will be getting. And when multiple team members are part of the same security and everyone gets the inbox task, at least if one person takes the action, that task will go off from all the other inboxes. Actually, if 10 people are there as a HR administrator and at least one person who is part of a HR administrator security group takes an action, whether it can be approval or denial or rejection, anything, if that one person has taken action, that task will go off. Whatever the inbox task that I'm seeing, that will go off from all other 19 members. Actually, you need to take that at least one person takes an action that goes off from inbox of that particular person. Actually, inbox is nothing but where you can actually take an action that you are responsible for. And this is nothing but whatever logo that I'm trying to access here is nothing. But at the same time, you should be able to come back wherever you are. You click on this, it will get back to home screen. Actually, ideally your company logo will come here. Your organization logo will be here. And all these things, whatever you are seeing here, right? These are all customizable. You can actually customize however you want, how you want it to populate and all. You can actually configure this as per your needs. Actually, that's on the navigations. Typically, you access anything that you're looking from the prefixes or from the task or from the search criteria and other things actually. As I said, we can actually configure. Announcements is something you have an option here. If you wanted to announce anything, let's say compensation review process or compensation letter for all the employees will be released on end date. If you wanted to share this information to all the employees will be released on date. If you wanted to share this information to all the employees throughout the organization, you can actually configure announcement and put a kind of announcement content here, giving access to all the employees. You can also set a duration after 7 days or after 2 or 3 days. You can actually have this task, mode of announcement, rule action. You can configure that. That will give you a kind of clarity for all the employees and the announcement. Thank you. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.